But I think one person's missing. I think it's the person who DM me. Is it SYAFIQAH, right?
No, I'm here, sir.
Oh, okay. Jas.
Oh, just sorry.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
21.
21.
21. Is.
Sorry.
20.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Cool. So it's quite wide lah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you guys are ready, can let me know. And then who's going to conduct the interview?
Amir, our moderator today. Our moderator for today is Amir actually.
All right. Cool. Whenever you're ready, guys.
Okay, peace be upon you, and welcome so much to Mr Jasfaizi Jasni, or as I guess you can say, as you said, we can just address you as Jas, if I'm correct.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so it's going to be a quite how do you say, quite casual interview. There's 11 or 12 questions, am I not mistaken. So one of us will conduct like 1 or 2 questions, and then we will take turns.
Okay.
It's mostly related to PR, but then I guess for you as a professional, it wouldn't be just as hard, I assume.
Should be okay.
Yeah, should be okay. Okay, so shall we get started with our first question?
Let's go.
Alright, okay, without further ado. Okay, for question number 1, what's a typical week like?
Question 1.
Is it my line? Okay.
Lagging teruk.
Yeah. Amin. It's just business.
Well, I think it's fine now, hopefully.
Yeah, okay, clear.
Okay. So, alright. Let's start again. So, for question number 1, what's a typical week like?
Okay, what's a typical week, correct? So with PR, it really comes down to where you're at. When you're doing PR in a company, we call it in-house, right? So there are 2 types, in-house and agency. So when you're doing things in-house, it's relatively slower from what I hear. I've never done PR in-house before because to me it is particularly boring because you're only working on one brand. But in an agency, it's relatively faster paced. A typical week would be, okay, you come in the office. The first half of the day, you would be doing media calls, calling the media to send out press releases or media invites to any events that you'll be organizing. You'll be working on written pieces, press releases, feature articles, listicles, media alerts, those sort of things. And after lunch, if you have time to have lunch, you'll then focus on working on campaign ideas, brainstorm sessions for any pitches that you have for any clients that you're chasing at the moment. So it really depends on, to me, I think it really depends on which platform you're at. In an agency, it is, for lack of a better word, quite chaotic. So if you want to learn more, if you want to grow, I strongly suggest you to work at an agency for at least the first 2 or 3 years. And then once you've learned the ropes, you can opt to go into an organization and work in-house lah. Was that clear?
I think that is extremely clear.
Awesome.
I guess I could conclude that so in-house is a lot less diverse than compared to the second one, isn't it?
Yeah, you're spot on with that, Amir. With in-house, you're focused on elevating the brand, one brand's vision and mission, and really polishing the image for the public to like the brand a little more. But in an agency, you're jumping around from one brand to another, to another, to another. Like for me personally, right now I am working on BMW Group Malaysia, Fred Perry, Anchor. I'm also pitching for a few other projects as well. So it can be quite chaotic, and you have to learn to segmentize different parts of your brain. It can be a great challenge for newcomers, but I swear to God, guys, it is so much fun.
I guess at the end of the day, it all comes down to personal preference. So if it might be a little bit chaotic to some people, but if they do not like the boring work, I guess they can take the same path as you.
Yeah, true. Spot on, man. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next member, which is Danish, who will be asking the second and the third question. Okay, I pass the meeting to him.
All right, let's go, Danish.
Good afternoon, Jas. Can you hear me clear?
Yes, super clear, bro.
Okay. Okay. So the second question from me will be, we want to know about your most memorable project that you have participated in, that you have worked on, or maybe something that you are very proud of.
Okay, so one project that I take pride in and I love being a part of it, because I've been on a few, but one that sticks would be BMW Shorties. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but just in case you're not familiar, BMW Group Malaysia, they have this a sub brand called BMW Shorties. So BMW Shorties, it mainly focuses on uplifting and creating new opportunities for local filmmakers. So essentially, what I personally did was we went out to around 4 to 5 universities, had talks with film students, sharing with them what the opportunities out there may be for them, and when they do enter the competition and win, they have a chance to win an 80,000 ringgit grant for them to continue on and create a feature film, which can then be sent over to Cannes Festival, basically all the prestigious film festivals in the world. So to me, that campaign, because it's an ongoing campaign, it's become a part of BMW Group Malaysia. That was really meaningful to me, knowing that we are helping filmmakers, our local talents, to grow and thrive even further. I'm pretty sure some of you would agree that some of the things that we see in our local TV is not of great quality. But recently, it's been growing. It's been getting much better with the films that we watch. So this is a part of the organization's effort to really uplift these talents and show them that, hey, BMW Group Malaysia is with you, and we are here to empower your film, empower your vision. Yeah.
That's like super lot that we never heard of before, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can search it up online. BMW Shorties. It's a very meaningful project, especially to BMW Group. They've been doing it for 16 years. This is the 16th year that they've been doing it. Yeah. So if you do have any friends who love to make films, yeah, I mean, get them to join in and yeah, explore their abilities.
Okay. Thank you for that one, Jess. Okay, next question.
Yes.
We would like to know about like there's a lot of things happening, like every day something goes viral, goes trending. Like how do professional like you keep up with this, and what would you suggest for us, like the status to to keep up with it as well?
Yeah. So keeping up with it is definitely a struggle, right? It's not an easy feat because in PR, not only are you doing the write-ups, reaching out to the media, events, campaigns, ideas. It's not just that, but another part of it that many don't talk about are the reports. So the amount of reporting that you have to do to capture whatever pieces have gone viral, who said what to who. You have to capture all of these things and basically come up with a valuation of how well you did for the campaign, and then share with the client. So then they would feel like, okay, I feel good that I paid you guys to do this because this is what I got in return. So keeping up with it is definitely a challenge, especially if you're handling a few accounts. Accounts meaning different brands. But one way that you can do it is to really you gotta love doing it. Like it has to be a part of the passion, and although it may be very challenging at times, but you really gotta dig deep and understand. Like what you're doing here is really uh, meaningful. You got to find meaning in what you do. So as long as you can find meaning and you can continue to work hard, you will definitely thrive. So for some of us, I think we talk about mental health and living a well-balanced life and all that. But for me personally, if you really want to thrive and really be successful in the job, you have to give that extra bit, so you can break certain boundaries that you've set for yourself. Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, thank you, just really inspiring me.
Wow. Okay, bro. Keep.
Just I'm like really starting to love this PRPG, and yeah, that's really good for me and my friends as well. Really. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Happy to hear
that's
that.
all my question. I think next question comes from Alia.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, hi Jas.
Hi, Alia.
Okay, it's nice to meet you today.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, so my question is on the important skills that need to have from a PR professional. So for me, learning PR, my lecturer always emphasized on the writing skill to become a good PR. So um, for in your opinion, how important is writing in your career today?
Yeah. So thank you for the question, Alia. So writing is definitely it is a must. You need to be able to write, right? You need to be able to write. So what your lecturer is saying, make sure you write. And the thing about writing or whatever skills that are out there, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So yes, writing is one of the most important skills, but really it's essentially communicating. How you communicate with your colleagues, how you communicate with your clients, how you process information and simplify certain things so everyone can understand. Because when it comes to high level conversations, it can be very difficult. But when you want to run campaigns, it has to be simple enough for the masses to understand. So it really comes down to your thought process and how you process certain information. And you need to know how to level down and level up specific to how you communicate. So yes, writing is an important skill, but really it's communicating. How you speak, how you interact, how you process, how you write, and also time management. Because with PR, timeline is a very, very important thing, especially if you're in an agency and working with a few clients. So you need to set your timelines and make sure that you do everything within that time, so that all the projects can run as smoothly as possible.
Okay, that's a very good tips by the way. So I can conclude from that is that we actually needs to balance our skills both in communication and writing, so that we can come up with a good we can reach publics in a good way.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's not just that, it's allow me to top up. It also comes down to, because when we think about writing and when we think about communicating, it really comes down to practice. So if you want to become a good speaker or even a great speaker or even the best speaker in the world, keep doing it. There's no other way to go about it. And some people are born with some talents, yes, but if you want to be good at something, you really have to force yourself, put yourself in an uncomfortable position, and keep doing it until it becomes natural.
Yes. Yes, that's a good one, by the way. Practice makes perfect, right?
Yep, definitely.
So I'll proceed with the next question, which is we, me and my friend, we are still a newbie in this field. So what are the three tips would you offer to someone who just start out in public relations?
Okay, so specific to public relations, I think what you should be doing is read more. And I don't mean reading Twitter or TikTok or Facebook statuses. I mean read articles. All right? Read financial articles, read marketing articles, read articles. You have to be able to read from basic to complex articles so then you can process information faster and become better at it, right? So certain briefs that comes from clients can be very complex, some others can be very basic. But when you do get a complex brief, like one of the briefs that I've worked on before was to pitch for Singapore Tourism Board, and my goodness, it was by far the hardest pitch that I've ever had to do, because it was so complex. What their requirements were, what their budget was like, what the deliverables they wanted. So you need to read more. That's number one. Number two, speak more. I can see from you guys, I can see that you're eager to learn, you're eager to become better, and you want to be a part of this industry. So for me, speak more. Like jangan segan-segan, bila kita nak sembang dengan kawan kita and we want to, let's just say inside you want to speak in English, right? But you stop yourself simply because damn, nanti aku kena bahan or whatever. I don't know if that still happens, but back in the day when I was in university, that's how it was. But I never let it stop me. I just went full on. If I wanted to speak English for that week, I'll speak English for the whole week, or for the whole month, or for the whole entire year. So if you really want to improve, reading is one, speaking is one, and especially writing. So with writing, how do you practice? Uh, don't wait on for your assignments to come in. When you feel like there's something that you're passionate about, because although in PR it's about communications, right? But what are you passionate about? Any topics, let's say cars or sports or World Cup or whatever, just write a piece for you. Because when you keep writing and you keep reading what you've wrote, you start finding different ways that you can put things and make it sound better. Uh, so yeah, those are the three main things. But I'd like to top up one final thing, which is to be ready to work hard. Some people go into work, like for you guys, fresh graduates are great simply because they have a fire in them. They want to prove themselves. So when you do go into the working world, remind yourself that it is going to be a very long journey. Um, I personally have been in PR for a few years. I've also ran my own businesses for a few years as well. So, like just jumping around and finding my own path. So, you guys need to make it a point to dig deep and understand, hey, you know what? If this work requires me to do more and give more of my time, I'll do it. Not for the boss, not for the client, but for me. Because at the end of the day, this is going to make me better.
Hmm. I think that was the main. I think it was the best tips for us as a newbie to try to practice now to construct a habit of practicing all these skills so that later on in the actual field we can sort of like we're not being much culture shock during our job, so that we have already prepared it. So we can do although we are a newbie, probably we can do better and in line with all the other practitioners.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Alia. The thing is, when you say newbie, right, don't let that make you feel smaller. Let that make you feel better, because for most of the people who are in the PR industry, they don't have fresh ideas, right? They've done things a certain way. don't know how to go about it, the challenges that we face with the pandemic and what is become of our economy, recession coming. So certain complexities may come about, and you have to think differently. So this is where the asset of a fresh graduate comes. You guys think differently, you have different experiences. So take pride on that, and yeah, I hope it really goes away lah.
Okay, thank you just for the tips. Now I will move to the other to my friend Ika for the next question.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Jan.
Hello, hi Shafika.
So I want to ask, what did you study back then, and did it prepare you to work in PR?
Okay. So I studied English for professionals and I minored in political science. So I didn't really know PR as like what you would probably know. From my basic understanding of PR back then was mainly becoming spin doctors, knowing how to twist things in a certain way and make it still positive. So it prepared me to a point where I understood roughly what PR was, but I never really knew that it was going to be bad really, because when you're doing PR and you're serving clients, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. It's not just one press release, one media invite. It's continuous. It's non-stop because brands are hungry for reputation. So yeah, coming back to the question, my education prepared me for PR. It prepared me in a sense where it provided me the skills and the skill sets, which was to write, to speak, and to communicate. But aside from that, it is like a wild world. You going in, uh, yeah, you learn along the way.
So I think it's your passion that prepare you to work in PR.
It wasn't passion. Yeah, it wasn't passion. It was my drive. Because I wanted to prove myself. Coming in, I started working probably 6 years ago. So coming in, I really wanted to prove myself because, uh, you know, I wanted to show that hey, if I really focused on this and I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort in this, I want to see how much better I can be. So it was really about me trying to become a better me in that sense. So because when it comes to passion, passion can die, you know. Passion is fire. It can go really big and it can go really small. So if you only rely on passion, it can be a double-edged sword whereby hey, I feel like I'm really passionate about this, but then you do it, and then once you're tired the passion dies and you stop doing it. So it's an amalgamation, it's a mixture of a few things, your passion, your drive, your mindset, and what you truly want out of life, I think.
All right, I got you. So the next question is, nowadays we use technology a lot, and of course in PR, there's also a use of technology. So how does the technology affect your daily work?
uh Not much really, because at the end of the day, you're stuck with your laptop, reading articles, coming up with ideas, brainstorming sessions. So those things are still the same as long as you have a laptop, really. So I think the main change would be the relationship that you have with your colleagues and your clients. It can be a bit different because you cannot physically see them all the time, and have that bond or strong relationship that you want. Um, but yeah, to me, I think that's the only difference. Yeah,
So do you think that it's crucial for technology in PR professionals' life?
yeah, of course. With the way the world is going, technology is a huge part of the work. Uh, yeah, it's a huge part of the work because everything that we do, it's on the laptop. It's got nothing to do with like the other day when my boss was telling me the other day, like they were. everything was so minimal. It took so much time for them to finish things up. We have our own laptops. To pitch, we just use PowerPoints. To keep track of budgets, there's Excel. To do any of our write-ups, we use Word. So as long as you've got these three apps in your laptop, then you're good.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So thank you for the answer. I will now pass the floor to Juan to ask you more questions.
All right.
Okay, hi guys.
Hi, Wan.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the next question.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a bit dry question. So, you know that you're as you said, you're from like big company. You've worked with many companies, right? So I want to know like how do you manage crisis communication if it ever exists?
Um, I am lucky enough to have not gone through a crisis. Lucky, yeah, I've never gone through a crisis. I can't say much about crisis management, but from what I've heard, can be very, can be very stressful because sometimes when the public or the media attacks a particular brand, it can really damage the reputation. And with PR practitioners, what we truly want is to build brands' reputations. So it it can be quite difficult. But I'm not a professional at crisis management, nor have I the experience with it. So I can't really say much about it. One, sorry.
I mean that's fine. We just wanted to know like it's lucky for you for not having any crisis so far.
Yep.
Okay, so let's just move to the next question.
Okay.
Okay, my next question is what do you think of ethics in PR and like the roles of ethics?
Okay. So ethics in PR, it's very important because sometimes clients will want to say whatever they want to say. But at the end of the day, we have to do our own due diligence to fact check, to make sure that everything that we're to post off to the media, is it really true? Because whenever we want to say things in a certain way and probably overclaim, and then once that gets sent out to the media or to the people can start questioning things, and when they do their own research and find out that what you said is not true, you're really shooting yourself at your own foot. So as PR practitioners, you're truly gatekeepers of information that comes out on behalf of the organization. So as long as I mean, it really comes down to how ethical the company you're servicing is like. If it truly is a big brand, then they wouldn't want to play around with overclaiming or any of the like. But when it comes to growing companies that want a certain level of attention, that can be a part of the risk. So for PR practitioners, ethics is definitely important, specific to the information that you're sending out to the media. But other than that, ethics in terms of doing what you're supposed to do within the stipulated timeline, um, not sharing information of the media to the public. Um, when you go for a pitch, don't share your ideas to everyone else. It's just within your team. So there are certain levels of confidentiality that is required with what you do in the PR industry, because you want to safeguard your company's best interest and uh, the brands that you're working with. So yeah, ethics is very important, and that's what I have to say about it lah. Yeah.
I mean, we have just learned about ethics, I think last week, and it's great to know that it is true and you have practiced it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that information. So the next person to ask a question is Lailan.
Lailan. Hello, Lailan.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So my question is, we live in Malaysia, right? So we have like a lot of cultures. So in your opinion, what is the best model or theory or framework that can be applied or practiced in Malaysia regarding our culture?
Chui, that's a pretty tough question. Can you rephrase it?
Okay. In your opinion, what is the best model or framework for PR practitioners in Malaysia regarding its culture?
Okay. Specific to modules or frameworks, I'm not sure how to go about that, to be frank with you. But yes, understanding that we are a multicultural society with PR, it really comes down to understanding the sensitivities of different cultures. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. Uh, I'm working on Fred Perry. So Fred Perry is a fashion brand, right? They have their own shirts. So they had a concert for underground musicians. This happened close to 3 weeks ago. So it's called the Subculture Live in KL. So throughout the entire thing, yeah, everything went fun. Alcohol was also involved. It was there, and the brand manager, who is not Muslim by the way, so he was drinking with his guests and VIPs. So when we were about to send over the photos to the media, knowing that we're not just targeting English media, we're also targeting Malay titles and all that. So, understanding that sensitivity, we made it a point to remove all images of him holding beer or alcohol to ensure that it can garner coverage. So, with whatever it is that we put out, it has to be the mindset has to be about talking to Malaysians as a whole. So we talk about the mission, we talk about the vision, we talk about why this campaign is being run, we talk about where the heart of the brand is when they're doing this, instead of really dialing down on talking to specific people, because that's not what PR is about. Essentially, what we want is to build a great brand image for all to enjoy, for all to see, for all to respect. So the framework would specifically break down to that. Whatever is being communicated, there has to be specific coded message, regardless of audience. It should be as wide as possible, because at the end of the day, we want coverage. The PR address your audience is how many articles were posted about your brand, how many people are talking about your brand, right? So since that's what you want, you cannot specify it to a specific culture unless if it was if your client is a Muslim product, I don't know, jual sejadah ke, jual Al-Quran ke, and they want PR, that would be an entirely different thing. But within that scope of work, um, it still has to be generalized in a manner where yes, it would probably be mainly in bahasa Melayu lah kan, but it would have to guard sensitivities specific to I don't know, any negative connotations towards people of other races or other religions. Statements like Islam is the best religion in the world should not be published. Statements like I don't know. That's what runs through my mind lah. Like for Hari Raya Korban, kita sembelih lembu apa semua kan, to ensure that we guard the sensitivity of our Indian friends who are Hindus. Uh, Pictures of cows being slaughtered or any of the like should not be shared. Those are some of the things that I think it's pretty basic in a sense, because you know what people don't like in general. So as long as you don't cross any lines and you spread love, things should be okay. Because to me, with PR, the main thing is really about spreading love, spreading positivity, sharing how the world can be a better place, and how our words as PR practitioners can truly change perspectives. and build things for the better.
Okay, I get it. Like we as multicultural country, we have to like as a PR practitioner, we have to cater to like all the culture, but as well as respecting the sensitivity.
Yeah.
So my next question is, are you involved in any professional organization like IPRM or PRSA?
Sorry, what were the organizations?
Um, are you involved in any professional organizations like IPRM or PRSA?
Oh, okay. I am not. When you're in an agency and you're working on many accounts, you really don't have time, I think, to join in organizations and whatnot. But I do know certain people who are a part of these professional societies. It would be a good cause for networking, a good cause for I think widening your perspective as to how big this industry truly is in the country. But I am unfortunately not a part of any organizations professionally, mainly because this is just me personally. I know you guys are going into PR, but for me, I enjoy PR, marketing, sales. So I like to take on a wider perspective when it comes to my work. So it may not be as relevant to people who are in these professional bodies because they truly really focus and dial down on public relations. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the answers.
Okay.
Also, would you recommend someone to like join the professional organization?
I've never even joined, so I don't know if I would recommend it. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what they
Okay,
do too. So yeah.
it's okay. Thank
Uh,
you.
okay, my pleasure.
Okay, so that wraps up all of our questions for this interview.
All right, awesome. Yay.
Okay, so before we leave the meet, so I guess if you don't mind, we can have like a short photography session, also as proof that we actually did the interview as well, if you don't mind.
Sure, let's do it. I mean, we're not gonna do much, aren't we? Like we're just gonna be in front of our screens anyway.
Yes,
So yeah, let's
practically,
go.
this is how it is then. Okay.
All right.
So, honestly, who's going to be the one taking the pictures?
Let me do it.
Okay, thank you, Alia.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Josh, for your time today.
My pleasure. If any of you have any questions specific to career choices or what you want to do, where you want to go, feel free to just hit me up on LinkedIn, like how Shafiqah did. More than happy to help. I might be a bit late with replying, but yeah, just don't be a stranger. Just reach out to me, ask whatever you want, and I'll do my best to help.
Okay, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Jas.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Okay, my pleasure. Okay, have a nice day, guys. All the best with everything. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.